Good morning, everyone. Today we'll try and solve the hard level Sudoku from the New York Times. Uh, Today's date is 6th of October 2022. So let's get started. So one sees these three cells. So we can put candidate 1 in these two, and because this one sees this cell and this row is taken, this row is taken, we left with these two spaces to put in a one candidate. Okay, 2 sees these three cells here, and this 2 sees these three cells here. So we can put candidate 2 in these two cells. Since 2 sees these three cells in this row, and these two candidates see this row, so these cells are taken up, and 2 cannot come in any of these cells. So we can put candidate 2 here. Three. This 3 covers these three cells. This 3 covers these three cells. So we're left with these two to put in, or rather pencil mark candidate 3. This 4 sees these two cells. This 4 sees this one. So we can put a pair of 4s in these two cells. Five. This row cannot have a 5 because there's already a 5 here. These two cannot have a 5 because there's a 5 here. So let's put in 5s in these two. On this row, we need to put a 5. These 3 cells are taken up. These 3 cells cannot have a 5 because there's already 5. So we're left with these 3. And this cell sees this 5. So we're left with these two cells. Put in a 5 candidate. Okay, 6. This is good. A 6 in this column. 6 for this column. Sorry, this one. And so all these cells are taken with the 6. This 6 sees this one. So we left with only this spot to put in a definite 6. The 7 sees these 3 this 7 sees this one, so let's put in 7s here. And this 7 and this 7 see this, this, this and this spot. So these two cells are the only place where we can put in candidate 7. And since this row has been taken up with this 7, either of these, this 7 will see this row. So all these cannot have a 7, which leaves us just these two spots to put in a 7. So we have a 2 7 2 7 pair here. Eight and 8 here would leave us just these two spots to put in 8 candidates, but we've already got an 8 here, so you can eliminate this 8 here and put a definite 8 here, which leaves this spot for a 5. And since these two cells see this 5 here, this 5 takes care of this cell, so there are 5s here. Right, this 8 and this 8 take care of this and this and this, so a pair of 8s here. Right, okay, this 5 and this 5 see this spot, and this spot where we cannot have 5s. These two spots cannot have 5s because already got a 2 7 pair, so all these cells cannot have a 5, which leaves us these two spots to put in a 5 candidate. Okay, this 3 and this 3 will take care of this, and this spot, so we can safely put in 2 3s here. Now what we have is a 9, a 2 and a 6, these 3 spots. Now these 3 have sort of a triplet where these cells and only these 3 cells can contain a Y1, a 3 or a 5 and nothing else for these 3 spots. So we can try and fill up these 3 spots to cover this row. So we left with a 4, 7 and an 8. Now this 8 sees this cell, so let's put in a couple of 8s here. this 3, this 3 and this 3 take care of these spots here. So we're left with these two where we can put in a 3. Okay, this 4 and this 4, see this, this and this, leaving us these two spaces to put in candidate 4. Or 6, I think this 6 and this 6. See this spot, this one and this one. So we can put in a couple of 6s here. So, okay, let's try one thing. Let's fill in these 3 cells with what's remaining, because these 3 cells already have to contain a 1, 3 or a 5. This is 6, 2 and 9. We've already put 2 8s here. So we can fill up these 3 with 4s and 7s. That means these 3 cells have to contain and only contain a 4 and a 7 and an 8. So we're left with these two spots wherein we can put the remaining numbers for this box, which is a 2 and 9. So now we have a 2 9 pair. What else do we have? Okay, twos. Now we've got a pair of twos here. That means none of these places can have a 2, which leaves us just these 2 places where we can put in the number 2. Right, good. Uh, Look at this row here, right? So these two spots need to contain a 2 and a 7. So these three spots are vacant, and number 3 sees this spot, this 3 sees this one. So this has to be a 3, and because this is a 3, we can eliminate this 3 from here, which leaves us 3 to be put here. Now, number 1, oh, just a 5 left here. Fill this with a 5, fill this with a 1, and 1 sees these two places, this one sees these two places. So just these two spots have to contain a 1. Okay, right, 5. A 5 here, a 5 here, which leaves us just this spot where we can have a 5. Can eliminate this 5 from here, put a 5 here. Just this place left for a 4, so put in a 4 here. So 4 here, 4 here, so just these two spots which could contain a 4. What else? 4, 7. Okay, since now we have these two spots left for a 5 or a 9. Now this 5 is there in this box, so this cannot be a 5. So this has to be a 5, which leaves us uh, 9 for this one. 9 in this column covers these spaces. This 9 covers these spaces. So putting a pair of 9s here, which I think gives us, yes, a 7-9 pair here, because these two cells are the only places which can have a 7 or a 9 in this box. There's no other place which can have a 7 or a 9. So these two cells are marked for a 7 and 9. So let's delete the 4 from here, which leaves us this spot to put in a 4. Good. 4. Let's fill these two spaces with okay, with the remaining 6 and 8. Okay, already got a 5 here, so we can safely eliminate this 5 from here, leaving us just this spot to put in a definite 5. 8 here, couple of 8s here. So these two 8s here mean that this spot cannot have an 8. These two cannot have an 8. So put in 8s here. 6. Okay, good. 6 sees these two spaces. Couple of 6s here means this cannot be a 6. This cannot be a 6. This cannot be a 6. So only these two places where we can have 6. 7 sees these two spaces, so put in a pair of 7s here. Okay, this is better. We've got a couple of 9s here in this column, means this cannot have a 9. These two cannot have a 9 because of this 9 here. This is reserved for pair 2 7, right? So just either of these two places can have a 9. Okay. What else? Six. Okay. Now, because of these two 6s, this cannot be a 6. This cannot be, and this cannot be a 6 because of the 7 and 9 pair. These two candidates ensure that this spot cannot be a 6. So, pair of 6s here. Which means this is the only place where we can have a 1 6 1 6 pair here, a 7 9 7 9 pair here. So what's that? It's a 2. That means this 2 can be eliminated, which leaves us 2 for this space, and 2 here, a 2 here, means either of these two can have a 2. Okay. Four. This 4 sees these two spots, so 4s will come only here. Now since these two 4s are taking care of this column, so we cannot have a 4 here. Let's eliminate this 4 here. Okay, this 1 takes care of this spot, which cannot have a 1. 1 has to be in either of these places. So this takes care of this column for a 1. this one takes care of this column. So this cannot be a 1, this cannot be a 1, this cannot be a 1. And because of these ones, this cannot be a 1. Because of this one, this cannot be a 1, which anyway is reserved for 2 or 7, leaving us just these two spaces for a 1 candidate. Okay, these two 4s, make sure this cannot have a 4. This 4 make sure that these two cannot have a 4. These two anyway cannot have a 4 because of the pair 2 7, leaving us just these two spots for a 4 candidate. Let's log out. 1, 2, right. This 2 and this 2 take care of this here, in this column, this here, in this column. So 2 2s here, which ensures a 2 8 pair in these two cells. So the 6 is lying extra. Let's remove the 6 from here, which leaves us this spot to fill in the remaining 6, and these two spots which can contain 7 or a 9, right? So let's put in a 7 9 right here. This 7 here, this 7 here, make sure these two cannot have a 7. So we can put in 2 7s here, which I think, yes, yeah, these two cells in this box are the only place where we can have a 4 or a 7, which is a pair. So we can remove the 1s from these two cells, correct? Leaving us this spot to put in a 1, since that's all that's left, and a 3 here. Good. I think we can finish this now quite faster. This one, make sure that this has to be a 6 and this has to be a 1. Two, 3, right. These two cells are taken. These two cannot have a 3 because of this 3 here. These two here cannot have a 3 because of this 3 here, leaving us only this spot to put in a 3. This 8 sees these 3 cells. This 8 sees this one. Putting a pair of 8s here. Right, so I think this gives us a 1 8 pair here. 4 is extra. Let's remove the 4, leaving us this spot to put in a 4, which means we can eliminate this 4 from here. So we're left with just one 4 here. This is the only place in this box which can have a 9. Put in a 9 here. 9 here, a 9 here. Make sure only these two spots can have a 9. This cannot have a 9 because of this 9 here. Okay, this has to contain just a 7. Eliminate this 7 from here, leaving us with a 2 and a 7 here. This takes care of 8, right? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay, forgot to eliminate this 3 here. Make sure this cannot be a 3. Remove this 3, leaving us with 3 for this spot, leaving us 7 for this spot, eliminating 7 from here, putting a 7 here, leaving us only this spot for a 1, which one sees this spot, this one sees these two, so can only have 2 ones here, and because of this one seeing these 2 cells, only either of these 2 can have a 1, which gives us, I think, a 1 2 1 2 pair here. So this 9 can be removed and 9 can be put in here. 9 here, 9 here. Make sure that these spots can contain a 9. Okay, this box is done. We have a 1 2 pair here, a 3, a 4, 5, 6 is remaining. Put in a 6 here, which takes care of this 6. Put a 6 which is left here, 1 which is remaining. Put in a 1 here, 9 over here. This 9 can be eliminated and 7 can be put here and 9 can be put here. Because of this 7 cannot come here, only 4, leaving us with 7, a 4 here, a 4 here. Make sure 4 can go here, leaving us with 2, which makes sure only 1 can come here, but 2 has to come here. 4 in this column, make sure this 4 can be eliminated. 4 has to come here, 8 has to come here. Because of this 8, can't have an 8 here, put in a 2 here, put in an 8 here. Because of this 2 in this row, cannot have a 2 here, put in a 9 here and a 2 here. This one, make sure there's a 1 here, 8 and a 1. This 8, make sure this cannot have an 8, has to have a 6. This has to have an 8. 7 over here, make sure this has to be a 9. This has to be a 7. And that's it, we're done. Thank you for watching.